Hi Flosstube, welcome to this video. My name is Anna and I'm here to talk about cross stitch. Today is Saturday, October 1st, and I wasn't sure that I would have much to show you in the month of September. Life with a new baby has been a little crazy, but also wonderful. So I'll talk more about that and about Ethan at the end of the video in case anyone is interested in how that's going. The main thing is I was able to find moments here and there to stitch. Sometimes it was, 5 minutes, sometimes it was more like 30 minutes or an hour, so that at the end of the month I do have some progress to show you. So first I'll show you my whips and my new start, or maybe even new starts. We'll see what order everything comes out of the pile I have here. And then I'll talk a little bit about my plans for October. I also have some haul to show you, and then I'll talk just a little bit about, I guess, my routine with Ethan and how I'm able to get in a little bit of stitching with a baby who is now 2 months old. He turned 2 months yesterday. It's crazy, crazy. Anyway, cross stitch first. I'll start with my full coverage, and hopefully I don't make too much noise pulling things out here. Like I said, baby's asleep, so I wanted to record this really quickly. So I just grabbed everything. I didn't really set everything up, so we'll see how this goes. I've been working on my full coverage from Artisy. It's called Fright Night Crop. They do have a larger picture. This is the one that I'm doing. This is my oldest whip. Yeah, and I actually made some progress on it. Let's see. Like I said, I didn't really prepare, so I'm going to see if I can get this off and out really quickly. I was able to finish another diagonal. So I have been stitching this in diagonals, in diagonal columns that are 10 wide, but then I also started, oh, that was my needle minder. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys. I also started color completing the darkest color that is dominant in the project. So here it is. Let's see if I can put before picture up at the same time. So I worked on another diagonal here, and I was able to finish most of the scarecrow. You can see more of his body through here, but I worked on the big chunk of the tree and then sort of finished up the sleeve on the scarecrow. And I also finished out this fence, and this is a big tree root, which was tons of fun to stitch, following the colors down the diagonal. And now that I've done that, you can kind of see where tree roots will be in other areas. Anyway, so I got all the way down to the bottom here, and you can see this is some foreground with some shadows from the fence posts. So that was great. And I also worked this color in a lot further. I've got threads parked for the next column. A lot further down. So I got all the way down, I finished this color completely, all the way down to this row. There might be a few stray stitches over here, but I'll work those in when I finish. So this is row 180, and it only goes down to 200. So that color is almost finished. It's really, really dense over here in this corner, but it's mostly almost finished. So that's my progress. It's pretty good. For 1 month of progress, especially given all the time that I'm spending learning how to parent and taking care of Ethan. So yeah, next month I'm going to leave this out, and I'm going to try to do another diagonal. These are all still the same length, but I've only got 2 more that are this long, and then they'll start to get shorter as I move across. So I'll do another diagonal if I can, and I'll hopefully finish this color, and then I'll probably come back up and pick another color to color complete, because it's been a lot of fun to bounce back and forth between, all of the colors in the column and then color completing this. And I also mentioned last time that I'd like to finish this, hopefully before it turns 5 years old next August. That would give me plenty of time to do something with it, to put it up for Halloween next year. And I think that that's doable. There are 13 more columns, but as I said, they'll get smaller after the next couple, and as I color complete, they'll take less time. Like, this column will take no time at all because it'll be mostly finished. So I think it's doable, and I'm going to keep this out and keep working on it. Definitely in October because it's in the spooky season, but maybe, you know, every month until it's done. We'll see. It's easy to work on, to just pull it out and work on it. So, yeah, that is my progress on my full coverage Fright Night. Let's see if I can... I've got a lot of stuff to show you, so there's not a lot of room. So that was the first one. I'll set it on the floor here. What's next? Oh, I'll show you my finish. They're in these plastic bags still. So I had 2 more months left to finish my prairie year, and I finished them. So I finished December here. I didn't change much. I mean, one thing I did change is that this little line here was charted in green. I just used the same brown I used for Santa's sack there because it made more sense for that to be brown to me. I also shortened his nose a little bit. I feel like a lot of the Prairie Schooler Santas, he's got like extra stitches in his face and doesn't really need that. So there's the Santa that I finished. That was number 19. And I also finished this cornucopia. So this was number 20. I started 20 of these little prairie years for Mania in the year 2020. And I just finished it. So this is a finish for me. And I just need to lace up almost half of them. I think I've got 8 now that need to be laced up. And then I can put them out every year in, oh, you can see it in this little frame. So this is the one for September. It's got apples. I left off the ABCs on it. But yeah, that is a finish for me, which is one thing off of my whip list. And I would like to do a giveaway later in the video. So I'll let you guys know about that when I'm done showing the rest of my projects. So that was Prairie Year. It's done. Put this on the floor. What else did I work on? I pulled out to work on just a little bit Winter Cardinals. It's my Dimensions kit. I don't know why I pulled it out. I just wanted to work on... I like to have a variety month to month, and a lot of these projects were carried over from last month. So in this month I wanted to grab something else on Ada that was easy to work on. So this is Winter Cardinals. It's a Dimensions kit. I have finished from like here over, and I'm working on this side of the project, and now I'm working from like the bottom up, and I worked all the way over to this edge, and I finished this like little tuft here except for the snow. So I'll show you. It's still in the hoop. Yeah, I'll take it out really quick. I have one thread that's been hanging on in a parked place for a long time because I'm not sure where, I'm not totally confident about where it's parked, but I'll get there eventually. Excuse me. So this is where I'm at on this, and you can see it's like 3/4 of the way done, except for all of the back stitching. So anyway, I worked in, let's see, I worked in this corner. So I worked all the way over here. This is the edge of the pattern, and now I'm working up. I just have to fill in snow in here, and then I'm onto this branch, and there's really not much left. There's like another branch up here, and then the male cardinal, but he'll be a lot of fun to work on. So yeah, this is coming along. This one I probably will not pull out again unless it snows in October, which could happen here in Colorado. Like I said, I don't know why I pulled it out. I just felt like working on it this last month, but I'll probably put it away again unless it snows. So yeah, the cross stitching is almost done on this one. This lady cardinal is already backstitched. But then there's a lot of long stitches throughout the entire greenery. Yeah, you can't really see them on here, but they make all of the pine needles look longer and more defined. So there's a whole lot of that throughout the project that still has to be done. But I'm getting pretty close on this one. This is one of my older projects, so I would like to see it finished maybe next year. We'll see. So that was Winter Cardinals. Then I guess this is a new start, sort of. I'm doing another Prairie Schooler. It's Birds and Berries, and I'm doing all 4 of the birds on separate pieces. So I showed you last time the chickadee, and I started this blue jay. He's in a weird position, like he's bent over, kind of goofy looking, which fits with that species of bird. They're kind of clownish, and they're also kind of bullies, so that's fine. It's just it's positioned kind of weirdly, and I don't have a lot of progress, so it's kind of hard to see, but I've also got a thread parked here. So this is my start on this one. I've not been talking about the fabrics on these ones. This is on a 32 count, and it's a linen. Let's see if I can pull it up really quickly. It's a 32 count Belfast. The color is natural linen, and I'm stitching it with just the called for DMC. So yeah, I really like this color, and I've got one more piece for the cardinal when I'm done with this one. So that's my start on the blue jay. You can see his feet and the start of his belly, and then this like starts to work into his face that again is in like a weird position over here. So yeah, it was a pretty good start for, you know, considering. So that was my start on another one of these birds, which it feels like a new start, but it's also kind of an ongoing whip since it's a set or a series. I'm not sure if that counts as a whip or a new start on that one. I don't know. How do you guys count those? Okay, and then I had an actual new start. I started another Marishka kit. This is called Squirrel. Where is it? Squirrel. I finished the hair this summer to put into the baby's nursery, and I've got others in this series that I want to stitch, so I went ahead and started Squirrel. Yeah, I'll just show it to you. Still in the hoop, of course. This is my start. So the colors are really, really warm on this one. In the hair, the rabbit itself is kind of a cooler gray color. This one is definitely more fall. So this is the start of the squirrel. These are the squirrel's like ear tufts, and this is the squirrel's back, and this is the start of the squirrel's tail. So you can start to see it coming in, and that's actually several colors. So this was a really good new start for me. Good progress on this one. This one is stitched, this one and the hair are both stitched on 32 count Belfast linen in the color flax. This is one that, let's see, I talked about this when I started the hair, but the 2 kits came with these. So one came with this natural colored linen, and one came with this oatmeal Aida. And I knew I wanted to hang them together, so having 2 different fabrics wasn't ideal, but these are both pretty good quality, so I'll put them in my stash. What I ended up doing is I bought a big piece of this Belfast linen to hopefully stitch all 6 of these kits on. And you guys might remember that before starting the hair, I bought linen from Joann's that turned out to be really poor quality. I've got the piece here. The color is good. I like the color. And I had this with this kit, and I'm glad that I looked at it again before I started, because this was the fabric that's got a really loose weave, and it's supposed to be 32 count, but in one direction it's more like I don't know, like 26 count, and the other it's more like 40. So it's like a really warped, it's not even at all, and neither direction is 32 count. So this piece is going in the trash finally, and those other two pieces of fabric can go into my stash for use with something else, and then I will carry on this very nice Belfast linen in flax. So that was my new start. I'm glad I got it started, because I would like to stitch all 6 of those, and I'll probably always have one going to make that happen. Oh, so those were all of the whips that I worked on and my new starts. So now I'll talk about, I guess, plans for October. I don't know how much stitching I'll get in. I was pleasantly surprised at the progress that I got, but I'm not counting on it in October. So yeah, I will definitely work on the one that I started in October. Let's see, what year did I start this one? I started this one in October 2019. It's the Halloween banner sampler, and I don't think I have the magazine with me to show you the preview, but I can show you really quickly where I'm starting at for the month, and you can get an idea of what it will look like. So that's where I'm at. This is in Picture This Plus Jewel, which is, I think, a great Halloween color. So that's where I'm starting. Yeah, this one, it's big blocks of color, so that part should be easy, but the linen itself is kind of tight and dark, so we'll see whether I am able to stitch on this during the day. If it's in the evening, I might not get to work on it very much because it's hard to see. But my plan is to definitely work on that, definitely leave out the full coverage Fright Night, and leave out the squirrel for the Marishka kit. So that's 3 projects, and I tend to only work on 4, maybe 5 each month, and I like to have a variety. So I'll probably work on those 3 and then see where that takes me, and if I get bored with any of them, then I can go and pull out something else to work on. So yeah, those are my plans for October. If you've made it this far, thank you. I would like to do a giveaway. I will draw a winner for this on my next video, which I hope will be towards the end of October. I am going back to work at the end of October, so we will see what kind of time I have. My mom is coming into town to help with Ethan my first week back at work, so I should have some time and some headspace to record. I also just like to document what I've worked on, so hopefully I'll be back and I will draw a winner for this then. I'm going to give away the Prairie Schooler 1 and 2, Prairie Year 1 and 2. These are on like the original cardstock. I made working copies, so I didn't beat these up too much, but they are pre-owned, so they're not in new condition. They've got stickers from when they were sold originally, but they're in totally okay condition. So I'm going to give away these, and I have a couple other Prairie Schoolers to toss in there. I have 2 copies of this, so I'm going to put one in the giveaway. It's Prairie Flowers. One thing that I liked about the Prairie Year is that it was really easy to substitute colors. I probably would have gotten more adventurous if I had more experience, and towards the end I was more comfortable changing colors out. So looking at this pattern, some of these colors I think are a little dated. They're just maybe a little faded, maybe a little sweet for a modern home. I mean, maybe if you like them, then great, stitch them the way they are. But I think Prairie Schooler really lends itself to changing colors out. So if you're interested in changing colors, I feel like this one would be a lot of fun because it's just flowers, it's just greenery. You could try variegated floss, you could just trade them out for brighter colors. What I do is I pull out the intended colors and then I start switching them out as I can with what I have in my stash, in my collection. And then I put them all in the fabric to make sure they go together and go with the fabric. I haven't done a huge color conversion or anything, but that's how I would go about it. So I think this could be a lot of fun for somebody to try that. So I'm going to put this in the giveaway. And then I went to an estate sale and I got some patterns that I'll show you in haul, but I got some duplicates of these little Santas. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 5 of these little Prairie Schooler Santas, again on the cardstock. So if you're interested in these 5 Santas, I will put them in the giveaway too. This last one's a little bit damaged, is discolored here, but the pattern is still good to go. So I'm sorry if this grosses you out or something. I mean, it's just a little dingy is all. You can toss this or whatever, make a copy of the pattern and toss the card, but I'm going to put it in there because I have 2 of them and the pattern is still totally readable. So anyway, Prairie Year 1 and 2, Prairie Flowers, and these 5 Santas are going to go in the giveaway. In order to enter the giveaway, please leave a comment about Prairie Schooler. You can talk about how you've never done one, or how you love them, or if you want to change out the colors in something, or if you've always wanted to stitch the Prairie Schooler Santas, like anything about the Prairie Schooler, just leave a comment, and I'll be looking for the words Prairie Schooler if you want to enter the giveaway. So there's that. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about my haul. I made a purchase from 123 Stitch. I purchased the last of these kits that I needed. So this is the 6th one that I have, and this is the Fox. And it comes with the Ada, so I'll definitely be trading out for the Belfast that I got for all of them. So now my collection is complete on these. I picked that up. I also ordered Sir Thomas from Glendon Place. There are several Glendon Place patterns that I'd like to do. This one was just, I've always liked it. It's way more detailed and shiny than it looks in this preview. There's lots of beads. There's Rainbow Gallery, I think it is, which is, I don't have those. I ordered this and I ordered all the DMC that I don't have already from 123 Stitch, and I don't know when I'm going to start this, but I'm excited to start it. I love this one. It's so pretty. Something else that I ordered is I bought a Long Dog sampler. I got the PDF, so I'll try to insert a picture. I don't know when I'll start it. I don't have any plans to start it, but I got Before I Sleep. It's based on a Robert Frost poem, and it's supposed to be a winter scene, but to me it didn't scream winter. There's just a couple little spots that are wintry, and there are some backstitched snowflakes here and there, but I thought it could be more like a forest scene. So I'm thinking about stitching it in 2 variegated colors, a green and a brown, and I have not nailed that down yet, but that's my idea for it, and I think it'll look great even though it's supposed to be a winter scene. So again, I don't know when I'll start that, and I don't know what compelled me to buy it. Probably late night scrolling while I'm up feeding Ethan. I'm doing a lot of online shopping, or at least wish listing. So that's the other thing that I got from Long Dog Sampler. There are a lot of those that I admire, and I would like to do a lot of them, but this one spoke to me the most, so I think it'll be a good one to start with. In addition to those purchases, I also went to an estate sale, so I will show you what I got there really quickly. And I want to mention again that I go to a lot of estate sales where I buy nothing because there's nothing there, and I feel like I feel like I succeeded when I go in and I don't buy anything. Just because it's tempting to buy things and be like, I don't really have a place for that, or it's neat, but what would I use it for? And I've gotten a lot better about saying no and just not buying anything. And then I go to a place where, you know, the person has a lot of what I'm interested in. Used to be houseplants and pots for plants, but I've maxed out on that now. Anyway, I went to this estate sale, and I ended up getting these things for $10. So they were marked for more than that, but by the time I got to the front of the line, the guy doing the checkout didn't want to count them, and he just said $10. And so I said, okay. So I won't show you everything, but I will show you a little bit of the types of things that I got there. So I got a Told in the Garden pattern. It's kind of like a banner sampler style. I just liked the colors on it. I also got 2 Butternut Road samplers. It's the summer sampler and the winter sampler, which I don't have like a lot of samplers going, but I like the colors on both of these. So I grabbed those. I got a couple of Janlin Just a Chart, which I'd never seen before. So Janlin does a lot of kits, but these are just the chart for these two. There's a Santa, and then there's this, what is this one called? Ruffled Feathers. So I grabbed those. There's some other in here that I won't bother showing, just I think like lavender and lace, these flowers, another Told in the Garden, another Butternut Road. I've seen a lot of people stitch this on Flosstube before. It's not high on my list, but I'll probably keep it in my stash just to, maybe someday I'll stitch it. I've got a huge pile of things that someday I'll stitch. So I mentioned I also got some more Prairie Schooler Santas. I already put them in with my other stash. They got some more of these. I've never seen these until that other estate sale, with these other Santas. So they're a slightly different style than Prairie Schooler, but they're real similar. One thing that I'm pretty excited about is this Mill Hill booklet called Santa's Holiday. And it's just got several Santa-themed patterns from Mill Hill. So tons of beads, tons of great colors, and many projects in this booklet. So I'm excited about that one. One that I'd like to start sooner is one I've never seen before. It's from Curtis Bowringer Cross Stitch, and it's called the Pumpkin Sampler. I guess I can kind of cover up the pattern. It is a lot bigger than it looks, but I like it a lot, and it's very seasonal. So I'm excited to have that in my stash. What else? I said I wouldn't show them all to you, but I kind of am. So this is a Snowflake Santa from Just Nan. I've never done a Just Nan project before, but this one is right up my alley with the Santa. I've got a Shepherd's Bush, which again, I've never done a Shepherd's Bush before, so starting with one that is seasonal I think sounds good to me, and we'll see whether I when or whether I stitch it. I've got some other booklets from Stony Creek, some other recognizable names. You know, a lot of these things I am going through a box really quickly, and so I just grab ones that appeal to me or I recognize the name of them right away. So here's another Mill Hill booklet called Joyful Santas, with again just a bunch of colorful Santa patterns with lots of beads. I got a lot of Santas at this place. Not sure what that noise was. I have to go check it out soon. A couple of ones that I'm pretty excited about are these. I've seen these on Flosstube lately. I know that Amy Loves Toads has been stitching this one, and a couple other people are stitching this one. This is called Christmas Dinner. You can see it. Santa with those like little woodland animals. and this one, Smoky Mountain Christmas. So I think these are in magazines. I'm not sure. I've never seen them as like individual patterns like this from Stardust, but I was excited to get both of these at that estate sale. Got some Prairie Schoolers, just more Santas. And then the last thing I got is this Dimensions kit that I think I'll save for a giveaway in the future for you guys, because I'm not interested in stitching this scene, but it's a full kit, unopened, with everything in it. So I'll put this aside as a giveaway in the coming months for you guys. So that's what I got at that estate sale. I need to stop going. I look at the advertisements for them, I look at the photos, and if I see that somebody has some cross-stitch things, I'll go check it out. And I can't stop myself, because I always think, like, what if that one pattern I've been looking for, what if they have it there? It's all about the looking and the scoring at these sales. So it's a separate hobby of mine to go collect, and it helps me to not buy things from 123 Stitch or full price from other sellers. It helps me get through some of that stuff. So that is it for the cross stitch. I just have a few things to say about life with Ethan, if anyone is still watching. So he turned 2 months old yesterday. The last month, it's weird. I'm in like a time warp, where every day and night seems to just creep by. But then after a month, I look back and it's just crazy that he's outgrown his newborn clothes and he's into his 0 to 3 month like pajamas. Like folding up his newborn stuff one last time and putting it in a box was really sad. I can't believe that he's growing. Obviously he's growing, but he's growing so quickly and he's changing so quickly and his skills are evolving so fast. And I know that every baby goes through these stages, but watching it unfold for the first time is amazing. Like watching him learn how to pinch his fingers together, it's just fascinating stuff. He's reaching for toys, which is like its own skill. It's so crazy that no one's really teaching him these things. He's just figuring it out on his own, and it's wondrous. It's amazing. I know everyone out there who's been a parent can relate to these early days when every little thing is a milestone. He'll go to sleep for a nap and he'll wake up a few hours later and he's more alert and more receptive than he was when he went to sleep. It's nuts. And like I said, the days and the nights are kind of creeping by. My husband went back to work. He works remotely some days, but he's still like in his office working. And so, yeah, I said last time, it's kind of all Ethan all the time. So basically he'll wake up, I'll feed him, we'll have playtime, and then he'll hopefully go back to sleep. And then as soon as he goes to sleep, I'm doing like chores. I'm seeing to like the bare necessities for myself, like eating and showering, and then more chores. And if he's still asleep, which is not always the case, I'll sit down and I'll read a book or I'll do some cross stitch. And that's the time when it could be 5 minutes before he wakes up again, or it could be an hour before I have to wake him up to feed him. The sun is shifting, so that's my cue to hurry up and finish. Anyway, it's been nuts. It's so amazing and rewarding, and I know that in a few months it's going to be a lot more predictable, and I'm going to miss when he's an itty bitty baby. Right now in the thick of it, it's day to day, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how else he grows and how else he changes. And, you know, hopefully when I come back in a month, I'll have more to share about all of that. I don't want to get into all of the nitty gritty about like breastfeeding or his sleeping habits or any of that. Just because you guys are here for the cross stitch, but it's been a challenge. It's also been rewarding. And anyway, I'm just rambling now about my baby. So thank you guys for listening, and hopefully I'll be back in a month to give you guys another update. And yeah, I've been consuming a lot of Flosstube, which is part of why I keep making these videos. It's just because I'm watching so much of it. I want to contribute some content out there for somebody else who's staying up late, you know, feeding a baby and needs someone to listen to. So that's when I listen to a lot of Flosstube, and I really appreciate other people putting up content, and I appreciate all of you leaving me comments and watching my videos. So I'll see you in about a month, hopefully. Until then, happy stitching. Bye.